Let's talk about Manchester United versus Newcastle United.
How are we, the lads?
The Carabao Cup final tomorrow. There it is. Right, there's no one better to ask this next question to. What will this mean for Newcastle fans? Give us an answer for win or lose.
For win, everything, because there's so many fans, including myself, who haven't seen Newcastle win a trophy. Well, I haven't seen them in a final, first of all. It's the first final in 24 years. So we haven't been there since 99. We haven't won a domestic trophy since 1955. We won the Fairs Cup back in the 70s, which is now the Europa League. That was the last trophy we had. So you're talking 50, 60, 70 years since we've won a trophy, man. It means everything for us for this, because the fan base, the city will be buzzing. And I think it's what we hope will be, on the steps to more trophies. You know what I mean? It could be a big building block towards where the owners and the club want to get to. You know what I mean? It's a starting point. It's a nice little starting point as well, to be fair, because how you see some Man United fans say, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, the Carabao Cup, that would mean so much to Newcastle fans. So we want it more. And then if you start off with the Carabao, the next year you try and get the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? You try and build. So it just means everything, man. This trophy would just change.
What about if you lose?
If we lose, I'm skint and crying.
We should have a nice view.
That's actually so true. Yeah.
Goal for Leeds, by the way, in a massive relegation clash as well down there at Elm Road. 1-0 up now at home to Southampton.
Yeah, we'll get you the score of that as soon as possible.
But if we lose, it's devastating. But at the end of the day, I think we still just have to be proud of the players. Nobody expected we to really get a final this soon. Just after a year from the takeover happening. This time last year we're in the bottom of 3. Now we're pushing top 4 in the final. It's crazy. It's been fast tracked. So we never would have expected that. So we've still got to just take the positives out of it. But I hate being that type of fan where it's just enjoy your day out. Not for me.
You're going to win, right?
Win, man. Yeah.
I think Man United fans are treating it like a Champions League final. I've spoken to a lot of Man United fans, and every single one of them are saying, if we win this, we're parading this around like a Champions League win, because they haven't had a trophy. This is their 6th season waiting on a trophy, and they are desperate. They are absolutely desperate for this trophy. So they want it. Believe me, they want it, because
I think you look Ten Hag coming in as well. It'll be his first trophy. I think last time when he was at Ajax as well, they hadn't won for 4 years or 5 years. They don't won any trophies. First final he gets crazy, he won it. Yeah, but PSV, Twente and RZ were coming out of nowhere them times as well. But I think Man United, as you said, need this so badly, and especially considering the Europa League, they've just beaten Barcelona as well. Big momentum coming out of that. I think the FA Cup, they've still got there as well.
Eddie Howe, you mentioned a year ago he was sitting in the bottom 3. Looking up, he's worked wonders at Newcastle. Have you seen the motivation that he's allegedly given his players in the warm-up to this game in training this week?
Seen him the other day, a few days ago. He did a thing with Sky, walking his dog, and Keith was interviewing him. And what I liked about it was how relaxed he was. I was thinking, oh man, went to training ground and stuff, seeing the players. I was thinking, I hope this isn't getting the better of them, because the reason we fell off in recent weeks is because they've all had this eye on the final. They've all been thinking about the final.
Because they've had that up on the screen. It says we have not won a trophy since 1955.
When they walk in the training ground, he's got that on the TV. Yeah, Eddie Howe, he's had that since the start of the season. So everyone's in a really good place. Everyone's relaxed and excited for it, more than nerves. I think that could obviously change in the step out at Wembley. But what Eddie Howe has done is unbelievable, man. Because the players, people want to easily try and point to the money, but the players that scored in the semi-final was Sean Longstaff, local lad, been here for years. Quarter-final, Dan Burn, signed from Brighton, local lad for £10 million. So these have been the game changers. Changed Almiron, Joe Linton, the list goes on, and the players he's developed. So Eddie Howe, it could be a big step for him though, because if he ends up getting that first trophy, because there'll always be question marks, won't there, until he plays in Europe, until he wins that trophy. He's not good enough. He's not. Newcastle need to step. Need to get a Conti or whatever. You know what I mean? People always say that, but for me, he's been amazing, and I just hope he can get that under his belt. That first cup, give him the confidence and the belief that we can go on and get more.
How do you beat Manchester United right now?
It's difficult because we are struggling for goals. So it's I think we will. Eric Ten Hag called us annoying in his press conference yesterday. And I think we're going to have to be that. We're going to have to get in the faces, make it a bit ugly, keep the good defensive record. Obviously the Karius things, I'm sure we'll get into that. But I would like to see us play our own game and go for it. But it's very risky, because we haven't been delivering enough in front of goal. We haven't been scoring enough goals. But I think an early goal could be massive. That old cliche of the first goal, but it really is tomorrow, because Newcastle fans, the flags, Wembley will be bouncing. It'll feel like a home game for the players, because all the Man United fans just be coming from down the road. Won't there be two tube stops? Two tube stops for them. Do you know what I mean?
Scotty's Hill.
I love that, man.
We've travelled 3 hours on a train, 6 hours on a bus. That are 2 minutes for Man U fans. You know what I mean? So
allegedly a booze ban as well for Newcastle fans.
Dry trains on the way back for Newcastle fans. So
was that said to the United fans?
Probably not, no, because you know what I mean, they'll just be walking home. So it doesn't matter.
No train to get.
No train to get. I think the way we beat them is honestly.
It would help if Rashford's injured as well, because I know you spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah, I would look. Honestly, obviously not wishing injuries on players, but just for tomorrow, it'd be absolutely lovely. To be honest, you know what I mean, absolutely lovely. Because if you take Rashford out of the equation, you're literally taking the majority of Man United's success over the last few weeks. His goals, without them, they've got Weghorst up front.
Going back to Rashford, if he is out, he's the one that scores the goal.
This is why I didn't sit next to him. I was like, Matty's handed in this.
No, Matty loves it. If he is injured, I mean, there's a question to ask of United. Where do the goals come from if he doesn't score? But they did score 2 at home to Barcelona the other night without him. But he was seen limping off though in the car park.
I think he's going to be fine.
Is this a typical United tactic?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. I think he's not missing this.
I'll be so surprised if he's not starting.
So was that for clickbait then?
Yeah.
Wait,
Don't
what?
hit the player. I'm just reporting the news. Do you know what I mean? Reporting the news.
Yeah.
Algorithm hype.
Let's talk about the team tomorrow, because as we know, I mean, listen, Nick Pope's not playing, gutted for him. Silly mistake against Liverpool. You were in the ground when that happened. What did you think when you saw that?
Do you know what the funny thing was when the ground was like the filter through of the news of the story, because it was
Karius,
Pope's off. Oh well, at least we've got we haven't got the Braff. Went to Man United. Oh well, we've got Darlow on. Sent Darlow on loan. Who was it in? Oh, it's fucking Karius. Everyone's like, it's Karius.
I would have loved to have seen Karius' reaction to that.
He was in
news.
Italy with his missus.
In Italy?
Aye.
But his phone just
He
started
didn't get back to
blowing
Newcastle
up,
until Tuesday.
So he's just
Because
holiday
Eddie Howe just let him stay until Tuesday. He just didn't want to disrupt or anything or make things a bit pressurised. He was like, you come back on Tuesday, lad. He rang him on the Saturday night, and then he's like,
do you know what though?
Come back on Tuesday.
I think it could be the biggest redemption story for him. I think for someone who literally had his career broken by that Champions League final, like Liverpool fans, I don't think will ever forgive him. I'm sure even Alex still holds a little bit of an annoyed spot.
How could you not?
Not hatred or anything like that. But there's a little bit of like, you actually cost us something, and we can never replicate that back. For him to now, out of nowhere, he was 4th choice keeper, step into the wilderness. If you lot can deliver this, and he
saves a penalty,
heroic shootout or something, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would love that.
I'd love it.
I would love that for him.
We're talking about Green Street 2, yeah? This is the new goal movie.
I love it.
This is the new goal movie. Karius.
I love it, and I think he deserves it.
That is actually a great call. That is actually a great goal.
Balboa,
if you're listening to this,
Apollo Creed.
But you know, for him to be on holiday, his phone's blowing up. How do you even keep your head for the last few days of that holiday? Because the pressure starts building, and in your head, you're thinking about what happened in the last final.
If I'm him,
do you know what?
There is no real pressure.
Because everyone's already going on as if he's made the mistakes.
Yeah.
Everyone's already saying, well,
everyone's already written me off.
So he could do anything and get love.
If he spills the ball on tomorrow, everyone's like, well, knew that was going to happen. Did it last time.
Yeah.
If he makes a great save early on, builds his confidence up, you know.
I mean, I
don't think it'll come down to anything like that. I don't think he'll have an amazing game, and I don't think he'll have a crap game. I think he'll just be one of them ones. He may concede one or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But obviously, praying he can turn it around. Like, I think it's an amazing story. It has that potential of a fairy tale ending.
Can you imagine if he was the one that made the difference?
Man of the match, Lloris Karius at the end of the game.
The thing that worries me isn't that mistake in the final. Well, obviously it does, but 5 years ago is that he hasn't played a game of football in 2 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a competitive game since playing in Germany 2 years ago.
I know.
Was it not in Turkey?
He was in Union Berlin. He had a loan spell
even
there,
they sent him back to Liverpool.
So he played for Besiktas, did all right for a bit, and he had to disrupt with them about wages because they weren't paying the wages of the players. But Karius, though, in that Champions League before the final, he had the most clean sheets that campaign.
Yeah.
Well, he was a decent backup
in the group
for
stages
them.
and stuff. You know
His career got completely written off after one.
All up there, isn't it? So
just quickly before we touch a little bit more on Karius and that team, let's get some score predictions for that tomorrow. We're hearing from Shane Malone, Super Chat just now. Big up everyone. Rashford has travelled with the squad. We knew that. But we'll start with Matisse. Is this going to be Matty Renton's day tomorrow?
My heart wants it to be for the Geordies, but my head cannot deny Ten Hag and Rashford. Come on now, really? Yeah, come on. If this was the old Man United under Oli, then yeah, hell yeah, I'd be ready for this. But nah, I think Man United are gonna win this, and I'm gonna go with a 3-1 win. I'm sorry, man.
Renton, you're going to be there. £2,500 spent on a ticket. He's got the apartment in Wembley. He's on Sky, TalkSport, DR Sport. All
I watched them against Barcelona. They're not playing around. Like, he made that substitution at half time. He said, you know what? Weghorst off. On comes Anthony, who, by the way, was really good on the right. Great finish as well. You got to pay him enough respect, because you see Anthony, he's caught a lot of heat, which I think has mainly been due to the price tag, because he's still in his first season. But this boy can shoot. If this brother cuts in, you talk about Saka needing to give us that whip. He's got that whip. You know, and the Wembley pitch is big. That's why I worry for Newcastle. I don't know. It said James, is it the comparison? I'm not sure, but like
that's huge compared to that, man.
Wembley's big, so like you got to cover that ground. And I know they're great defensively, but Man United are going to stretch them out, and it's going to be, you don't want to defend for long periods, which is why I agree with you that you do need to actually put your stamp on the game. If you think you're going to just defend like you did at the Emirates the whole game, nah, I don't think so.
Nah, waste time.
Score prediction.
Karius.
I like that.
To do what?
1-1 penalty shootout.
Oof.
Wow.
1-1 penalty shootout. I'm not going to even say Karius is going to be the hero. Man United is going to blaze him over the bar.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go penalty win for Newcastle. Let's go.
I'm going for a Newcastle win.
Yes.
Up the mugs. How are the lads? Why not? 2-1. Who went?
Extra time heartbreak
For me.
for Eddie's boys. Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Well, do you know what?
I think the whole reason why they brought in the likes of Casemiro and Varane, I don't feel like you bring those kind of characters in to fumble this type of game. And I'm like, and I genuinely think your form over the last couple of weeks is. I know they say forms goes out of the window, but I do think it could kind of veer over into this. I think you lot will make a game of it though and take it to extra time at least, but then some Rashford dagger's gonna come out of nowhere. I
just feel like Newcastle in January could have just done a couple.
We've fucked it. I think
Newcastle and Arsenal in January annoyed me.
Honestly, the top 4 chance was we got arguably weaker in January.
We let
Shelby go, didn't replace him.
No,
as much as I don't like Chris Wood, didn't replace him.
No.
Gordon and a winger who didn't really need that much of a position.
Yeah,
we needed a centre mid before we let Shelby go. We needed a centre mid
anyway.
Yeah. And then we let Shelby go and didn't replace him. One injury, another injury or suspension to Bruno Guimaraes.
Well, they are our predictions for tomorrow's massive game. We've got it on DR Sports for you as well from 4 o'clock. But let us know what your thoughts are in the chat. What is that score going to be tomorrow?